Hello everyone, how are you doing? So in today's video I've got a Q&A. I feel really weird being in front of the camera because I've not done a YouTube video in so long, but I've got loads of YouTube tutorials coming up and different bits and bobs, training stuff, different people I'm going to be making collaborations with, so the channel is truly alive again, which is good. But for the Q&A I basically put a poll up on my Instagram and also one up on YouTube, and I've got loads of different questions about my personal life, martial arts, my opinions on things. So it's going to be a good video. I feel a bit under pressure, but it's going to be good. And just before we get into the video, make sure you like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, just like it anyway. Do me a favour. A couple of these questions already I'm looking at and I'm like, so this will be interesting. I'm going to start off with all the easy questions just so we can get those out of the way. So how old am I? I'm 22 years old, 23 in May. Someone put today is my birthday. Not really a question, but I'm really pleased for you. Happy birthday. Can you do a backflip? Yeah, just about. It's quite sketchy, but we'll get there in the end. So the next question is, where are you from? So I grew up near Brighton in East Sussex in England, and now I live closer to London in Surrey. So yeah. How old were you when you started martial arts? And then someone else put, how did you get into martial arts? So I was 4 years old or 5 years old, and I was basically just really bad at like football because both my brothers play football. So then I tried out a couple of different karate clubs and martial arts clubs and found this Kyoshi club which I absolutely fell in love with, and the rest is history. But be under no perception that I was good at martial arts when I first started. Like, I had zero natural talent. It took me time and effort and energy, and I was a bit of like a just rubbish kid. I had no natural sporting ability. It took time and effort, but we got there in the end. Quite a few people asked what martial arts I've trained in. So as I said, when I was 4, I started in Kyoshi, and I did that for like 14 or 15 years. And then during that time, when I was 11 years old, I started Muay Thai kickboxing, which I did for 4 years, I think. And then I moved over to WT Taekwondo, so Olympic style Taekwondo, which I did for 3 or 4 years. And I've dabbled a bit in sport karate or like XMA. So yeah. Someone asked, what is Kyoshi? So Kyoshi is a comprehensive Korean martial art. It's the martial art I first started with. It basically has like a bit of everything. So you've got your like kicking forms, sparring, breaking, pressure points, self-defense, your hip throws, weapons, so much to it. Break falling, acrobatics, like there's loads to it, and it really sets you up well if you start off with that martial art to get you ahead when you start training in other martial arts. So I would highly recommend people go and train in it. I'm no longer a member just because I wanted to branch out and do other martial arts and try different things, but it's really phenomenal martial art. Following question is, why did I quit Kyoshi? So no drama, very simple. It was just the fact that I was starting to train in different martial arts. I had loads of opportunities to compete in different associations and such, and in Kyoshi you generally just stick with Kyoshi, you don't really branch out into other martial arts. So I just wanted to spread my wings a bit, get some experience in different things and really build my skill set, because in my mind I kind of see myself like building my overall ability, learning as much as I can from different martial arts and styles and different like martial artists, and then someday having my own school. What martial art that being, I don't know, but at least I'll have a really well-rounded view of martial arts and like loads of different skills that I can take from. So literally no drama, just I wanted to try different things. Just while we're on the Kyoshi bit of the video, someone else asked, was Kyoshi cross when you trained in other martial arts? If I'm honest, I just kept it very private and just trained in my own things and took up loads of different opportunities, and before it could like escalate or get any further, that's when I withdrew myself from the association. So I wasn't ever told off by anyone or anything like that. It was just literally me doing my own thing. So yeah. Who stole your lips? Thank you. So I had a video on TikTok go viral. It's got like 1 million views and like 200,000 likes, purely based on the fact that I have no lips. Yeah, so thank you for pointing that out. Next question is, do you compete in any tournaments? So my whole life as a youngster was literally competing, right from when I was 8 to 18 years old. There was literally nothing else that I cared about in life apart from going to competitions and training martial arts. So I was fortunate enough to get to world level in Kyoshi, where I won 7 world titles, which is quite cool. And then I started branching out into Thai kickboxing, which I competed in like open martial arts tournaments and kickboxing tournaments, and got to British or European level with that. And then I went over to Olympic style Taekwondo, which I soon found wasn't really for me, but I have massive respect for Taekwondo athletes. Just the sparring style just isn't necessarily for me, of which I competed at like a couple of British national championships and that kind of thing, won a couple of medals, but nothing too major. So yeah, so I took 3 or 4 years off of competing when I went to university, just because I wanted to get a bit more of a life outside of martial arts, because I literally burnt myself out for the last 10 years beforehand, and I needed to grow a bit of a personality because I didn't have one other than martial arts. But I was really hoping to get back to competing last year, but obviously Corona happened, so now that's probably going to be delayed until 2022. What I'm going to compete in yet, I have no idea. My strongest discipline, which most people don't really know, is probably sparring, and that's what I feel most comfortable competing in. When I was competing in open tournaments and Thai kickboxing tournaments, obviously it was all about sparring. But from my Kuksal background, it was mainly performance based, so I have the option to kind of compete in performance or sparring. I'd rather compete in sparring, but I really want to learn loads of skills from the performance side of it too, so I'm still undecided, but I'm sure opportunities will come up. Am I single? Yes, I've been for a very long time. So you like, I'm guessing it's meant to say, do you like full contact sparring? Yeah, so obviously when I was training Thai kickboxing, it was very much full contact, and the tournaments were either semi-contact or full contact, so I'm very comfortable with it. Used to love doing it. I did pick up a really severe ear injury, where I had to have loads of my eardrum reconstructed from a tournament, so my hearing's not so good in my right ear anymore. But I would love to get back to competing. Before I obviously do that, I need to check that my ear's in good health and that I can actually do it. But yeah, full contact, I definitely feel happy doing it. Favourite martial arts style you've tried? My favourite martial art that I've ever done will always be Kuksal one, just because it taught me so much and it gave me a really good foundation for all the skills that I can take elsewhere. But I have, second to that would definitely be Thai kickboxing, and then Taekwondo. What is a martial art that you haven't tried yet that you would like to try in the future? So I really want to get more into like that sport MMA style karate, which I've only just kind of dabbled in. But the main biggest thing that I want to get into is wushu and like kung fu, just because their leg control is insane, their like athleticism, their use of weapons as well. They can literally jump in the air and do these mad tricks and stuff. So it's so cool, such a good martial art. The only issue is that I haven't found a wushu club near me that I'd like to join. There's a few martial artists here and there who I can definitely go and meet up and train with, but there's not a set club. So I'm on the pursuit for a set club. So if anyone knows a club around London, Sussex or Surrey that is really good for wushu or kung fu, please let me know and I'll definitely come along. What's your favourite weapon to train? It will be, I don't know what these noises are about. So that would definitely be staff, and then closely in second is sword. What weapons can you use? So obviously staff, sword, short staff, short sword, fan, rope, very little with canes, nunchucks. Yeah, that's it. I really want to learn sai. They look pretty cool, and those like three like sector segment staffs, they look really cool as well. I also want to try double sword. And just while we're on that as well, no one else is, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. I tried Korean style bow and arrow, and you've truly never met someone who's less capable of it in your life. I don't know why I couldn't do it, what was wrong with me, but I could not do it for the life of me. So anyone wants to train me on that, please do. Also throwing knives as well, absolutely terrible. So next question is along the lines of, how much time do you have to stretch daily to be able to do the splits in a month? So what I'd firstly say is, don't try and set yourself that I want to be able to do the splits in a month's time, just because it might be unrealistic depending on where you are. Just more trust your body, listen to your body, make sure that you're not going to injure yourself or you're doing any unhealthy practice. But what I would say is try and stretch for like 15 minutes minimum to 45 minutes maximum initially for like 3 or 4 days a week. And then once you're feeling more comfortable with that, you can move up to 5 days, but it's not to mean that every day you're doing a really heavy, deep stretch. Some days you're gonna just do a light stretch, and then other days you're gonna do a deeper stretch. So just listen to your body. For all your stretches, don't hold them for 8 seconds, which is what you see on loads of like fitness channels. You really want to be going for like 15 seconds minimum, up to 30 seconds or even longer when you're getting more comfortable into your stretching. Just hold your stretches, really breathe into them, and always go for discomfort, not pain. So as soon as you start feeling like sharp pains and everything, you know you're pushing it too fast, and really back out. You should just feel a bit of discomfort for you to push your limits, but if you follow that, then you should be good to go. What to do if I'm feeling some pain in my knees whilst I'm doing middle splits? What you're probably doing there is you've got a slight bend in your knee, which is forcing it to, like gravity, to pull your knees downwards. I don't know what like this position is, sorry. It's going to pull your knees downwards. So what you need to do is make sure that you're focusing on fully extending your legs and going at a bit of a higher height rather than pushing your splits so low. It's probably because you're pushing your legs out so far wide that your leg position is being compromised in your alignment. So come up a bit, straighten your legs out, and that should help you out. But I'm no trained medical person, you know, so don't take my word for gospel. Generally, if you have pain in your knees and such, it's probably time to rest and relax and take a bit of time off. So I definitely advise rest over anything. How to increase height of side kick. So this is very much about, firstly, open out your hips. So you need to do loads of box split stretches, frog split, as much hip openers as you can, and then also working on your supporting leg hamstring. So if you're throwing a right side kick, then your left hamstring needs to be super flexible because you're leaning your body weight down on that as a supporting leg. So really focus on hamstring flexibility and box split flexibility. When are you going to do an epic Flexikick collab with Donovan? Sorry, my reading ability is terrible, but me and Donovan talk about this every so often and say that we're going to do either a weapons or kicking video together, and yeah, we talk about it and it never gets done. So I'm definitely going to get that sorted at some point soon, and we'll have a video up. If anyone doesn't know Donovan, he is an insanely talented martial artist and just social media person. And his leg control and kicks are just like ridiculous. So anyone who doesn't follow him, you probably already do if you follow me, but go and follow him. A couple of staff ones. Any advice for improving staff spins around the waist? I drop it a lot and you make it look very easy. Thank you very much. So with passing it around the waist, what I do personally is I pass it higher around my waist rather than lower. Firstly for posture, and it just looks cool, but secondly I find it easier. And then it's very much about following the momentum and following circular momentum. So what you see a lot of people do is they have the staff here above their head, and then they go from A to C and just bam, and then they pass the staff there. Whereas what you need to do is like follow the circular motion around. So A, B, C, and like follow that fluid motion, because then you'll get a lot more momentum into the spin. So that should help. How tall should my staff be? So loads of people say at head height. I think that's slightly too big, so I always get mine to like my eyebrows, so dependent on how big your forehead is, a couple of inches off of your height. Thoughts on Bruce Lee? Wow, big question. Yeah, obviously a massive inspiration, crazy talented, and really opened up martial arts around the world and expanded it. Also opened doors for loads of Asian film stars, etc., to get into the film industry and martial arts to be seen on a big scale. So yeah, big up Bruce Lee. Have you ever been thrown? Yeah. So the martial art I started off in Kuk Soo Won. There's loads of different hip throws and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, been thrown about loads of times and have a few throws under my belt as well. I'm definitely nowhere near as proficient as a judo athlete, but I just know a couple of bits and bobs. What swords do you have? So I have 3 swords. 2 are from my original martial art called Kuk Soo Won. So this is one of them, like a nice straight sword. They're quite heavy and longer. This one's in quite bad repair. This is another one, I've won at Worlds, which is cool, but handle's like coming off. And then I recently just got this sword from Terry Johnston in Sheffield, and it's much lighter, much shorter, much more effective for like throwing it around and doing like XMA styled sword routines. How do I hold my leg high in the air? So this is just about doing loads of leg conditioning drills. I do pyramid kicks, so like 1 kick, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then up to 5 or 10, and then work my way back down. And that really helps with leg conditioning, but it's mainly about focusing on your active flexibility. So what I mean by that is people can do a lot of squats and stuff, but they can't hold their legs high in the air because they haven't conditioned and strengthened their muscles when they're in a really wide range of flexibility. So they'll only be able to have strength like here in their range of flexibility rather than right the way down here. So it's really important that you do exercises like your balance kicks in the air, and I always use a wall to do my kicks. And then also doing your leg holds and all of that kind of thing. But yeah, anyone who's looking to do weighted exercises like attach ankle weights and such, really good. However, don't do those until you're a bit more experienced and comfortable with your kicks. And I think I'm going to leave the video at that because my throat is like drying up. But thank you very much for watching. Sorry if I didn't answer your question, and thank you everyone for sending in your questions. If you have anything else you want to ask, just comment below, DM me or email me. And if you have any video suggestions for tutorials or any content you want to see, then just let me know as well. I think the next couple of things I have is a staff tutorial, spinning the staff behind your head and back, a cannon kick, and also a couple of flexibility, leg conditioning, and a martial arts workout video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that wasn't too boring, but I'll see you in the next video. Bye.